Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tier 10 Russian Collector Heavy Tank, the Object 260. Now, if you've never heard of this vehicle, I would definitely not doubt you. The vehicle is currently undergoing super testing, and we don't even have the statistics on it. It is so early into the game. But normally, I don't really talk about tanks before the statistics are posted on Blitzhanger or Blitzstars or some side website where I have some proof or validation on the vehicle's stats. However, the Object 260 is a tank that I've been waiting years and years and years for to come into World of Tanks PC. And finally, that Wargaming has said that it's coming is something that makes me really happy. I remember about 5-6 years ago when Quickie Baby made his video on the Object 260 talking about the reward system, how you can get it. I really thought that it was a fantastic idea, and I've been trying to urge Wargaming every single time I talk about missions to add a mission campaign system. So of course, I'll play the i7 while I'm talking about the tank, what it's like in the background, of course, because they're actually very similar vehicles. So the Object 260, first of all, just talking about it, is a Russian Tier 10 heavy tank. And when you think about fast heavy tanks, you think about the WZ-113, the IS-7, the 111-5A. They all go 50 kilometers per hour. Then they start to slow down. Now, of course, the 50B I didn't really throw in there because it's not really a heavy tank. Most of the heavies that have a high top speed and are at least able to keep that top speed have some major drawbacks. Gun depression is one of them. Armor can be another, like the 50B, like the 111-5A. You know, the penetration can be an issue like the IS-7 or the accuracy of the gun. And while the Object 260 does not knock all those boxes off, it's a Russian heavy tank, which of course means gun depression, yeah, not going to be happening too much of. It's only 6 degrees. But one thing that it will have is an immense amount of speed and as well great power to weight ratio. In fact, the Object 260 should be sitting at around a 55 to 60 kilometer per hour top speed. Now, I'm not 100% sure exactly how fast it's going to be, but in World of Tanks PC, the Object 260 goes 65 kilometers per hour. Now, I know, you guys are probably wiping your eyes like, wait, what did you say? Yeah, on World of Tanks PC, tanks go a lot faster, especially some of the heavies. The IS-7 actually goes 59 kilometers per hour. So if you put a little bit of inflation in there and you kind of think, okay, so if the IS-7 goes about 60, then the Object 260 goes about 65, then in Blitz, it should be about 5 kilometers per hour to 10 kilometers per hour faster. So I'm personally thinking that the Object 260 is gonna be going around, I would have to say, ooh, my teammate getting knocked out there, not necessarily the best, but as I was saying, oh, let's get an HE into the rear of you. But as I was saying, I'm thinking it's going to go around 65, oh, not 65, 55 kilometers per hour. That's about the fastest I'd say it would go. Now, we got the 183 and as well a Sheridan off to the side. The 183 just fired, which means that if we back up quick enough, we might not be able to get a snap into him, I guess. But yeah, we'll see if we can help out our team here. You can see that I pushed heavy tank, and while the i7 does struggle with a couple things, one of them is the mobility. While it is a very quick tank on getting up to top speed, it definitely struggles on the top speed in general. Now, we got the 183 pushing off to the side, who we might just be able to steal a little bit of a snapshot in. There you go, 480 hit points. Got to love being able to get out those big shots. And that's one thing as well the Object 260 will not be shy of. It's going to be dealing 460 damage for all of its shells on average. That's really impressive. That means that, yeah, you're going to be able to outtrade a lot of opponents. Now, this is not great for me here. You can see, kind of stuck out in the open. Don't really like that too much. We got the i7 pulling out, and oh boy, accuracy not liking me right now too much, is it? Okay, so we got the i7 pushing off to the side. We got the E5 as well trying to take me out, and to be fair, he got a nice shot into me. I'll give him credit. Let's see if we can get a shell into the IS-7. There you go, nice tap, and hopefully my team's going to come back here to help me out, but we're going to try and hide our lower plate to the best of my ability. Now, we got that E5 trying to aim at my teammate, which means that if we play this correctly, we'll get a nice little snap right into his lower plate. There's another 440 damage shot, and that's, of course, the thing I really like about the IS-7 is the alpha per shot. It's so nice to be able to trade with enemy opponents, and it's really something that you can't do with your average tier 10 heavies. So let's get a nice snap into the side of the i7 there. Of course, out trading him once again. Oh, actually, he hit me for 508, so I guess not out trading him, but we're able to tap a very high alpha shell into him, not making him really like his hit points too much. And with one finishing shell right in the side, that's not too shabby at all. Now we got the 4005 being pushed on by our E5 over here, but yeah, really, I'm not super worried because we should be able to help out our teammate quite a bit if we were able to get maybe a nice HE into the rear of this E5. Maybe not, but but you know what? That's a nice snap as it is for 480. Once again, hiding my lower plate. And this is exactly how the Object 260 is going to be able to be played. You can see there I angled up my upper plate. I was able to get a nice bounce there as it was. Let's get another nice snap into the E5 here. And again, you can see I'm wedging up my upper plate. Now, the way the armor profile on the Object 260 is going to work is it's going to be kind of like a Object 252. And of course, I'll be showing pictures of the tank so you can kind of see it. But it really looks like an Object 252. It's got a very similar armor profile where it's got a big lower plate that's not super thick, about 200 millimeters thick, maybe about 220. So it's not going to be, I guess, heshable, or maybe not heshable, but penable with high explosive shells. It's going to be big, but it's not going to be the weakest of plates. Big tank destroyers are still going to struggle, apart from maybe the 183. But even then, I think it is going to be thick enough that a 183 might not be able to hesh through the lower plate, kind of like an IS-7. Not only will the upper plate be larger, but because it's a larger upper plate, it's kind of going to be looking like, let me get a better example of a tank here. The WZ-110 is a perfect example of how the Object 260's armor profile is going to look. Now, it's not going to be as angled on the upper plate. It's going to be a little bit flatter, but still, that's how the angling is going to work. It's going to be really, really sturdy. And as well, the turret armor is only going to have one cupola and a very, very small one at that. Really going to be a shot trap, to be fair, when a lot of people are trying to shoot at it. So, honestly, I think that the Object 260 is going to be a really strong tank in the current World of Tanks Blitz meta. It's going to be quick. It's going to have, actually, like the old IS-7. If a lot of you are unfamiliar with the old IS-7, it actually used to have about, I would say, 40 millimeters more side armor when it first came into the game. It was actually the preferred tank in tournaments over the IS-4. Before Calibrated came in, you would see Pramo running IS-7s like crazy, making rush strategies with them all over. And that was, of course, because the IS-7 not only had ridiculous side armor, able to side scrape and punch off an E100 183 shell, didn't really matter. It had such a big shot trap in the side, unlike it does now, that it was crazy on how strong it was on defending and holding areas. So that was one great thing the IS-7 always was good at. In the Object 260, after taking a quick gander at the armor profile, honestly, the side armor seems like it's going to be just as strong as the old IS-7. Now, it will be a taller tank. It will be about 20% taller than the IS-7, which means that it's going to struggle on the side armor in general, because the taller you are, of course, the bigger the side armor there is to shoot at, the more space there is. So it will be an easier tank to penetrate, I think, on the side, but side scraping abilities are going to be a lot more effective than the IS-7. It's really going to be a hit or miss tank, but I do think that it will be a better tank than the IS-7. It's going to be a collector, and as we know, collectors are usually better than sometimes their main counterparts. A good example of that would be like the T-22 medium compared to the Object 140 and the T-62A. Now, that's not 100% true anymore, as I do think the T-22 medium has lost a little bit of its spark in the current meta of Blitz. However, it's still a very strong tank if played correctly. Now, let's aim in on that bat chat. There's a nice tap into the side of his armor. I do love that big alpha. Oh boy, that bat jet lost a lot more HP than I thought he was going to. So let's continue to push off to the side here. Of course, you can see with that improved speed, I'm able to really quickly get in the position here and hopefully get a nice snap into that grill. Not only that, but tracking him. Now I'm able to sit here quite confidently. We're going to push off to the side before he's able to get me. And, well, now I guess we can just start turning our tank. Either way, even if he pens me, we're going to get it. Okay. Well, that's a perfect example of the shot trap I was talking about on the Object 260. You're going to be able to do that as well in the IS-7, something that's really very impressive, to be honest. So, nice fire into the grill there. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting out the most damage this game, but to be fair, doing the best we can. And we're going to see if we can get some shells into the enemies here. Let's go for the C100 first of all. Nice old booty. Thank you very much. Ooh, big rolls again. I love the ability to have high alpha. That's one thing I've always loved in Blitz. A lot of people know me as quoted being alpha over DPM. Now, we're going to lose hit points to the 57 heavy, but honestly, I couldn't really care too much because, again, I'm just trying to support my team here, get some big shots into the enemy E100 as he's stuck out in the open. But I think it might be a little bit smarter now maybe to deal with the 57 heavy. I don't really know because my team's going to start farming him, of course, as quickly as possible. So, as they're farming him, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there super quick and help them out, but you know what? I'll get in here. Maybe we'll get one shell into the 57 heavy. We'll try and do that. Yeah, let's just get one shell into the side armor. There you go, finishing him off for 493. And again, you can see with the mobility on this tank, we were able to do quite an impressive amount of damage, sitting at just about 3,000, I think, with that fire added in. So you can see the IS-7's quick, and because of that, I was able to flank around. Even though the enemy heavies didn't push where they did, I was able to flank around and support the team. Now imagine if that shot had hit. But really, I was able to support my team by pushing off to the side, and that's exactly what the Object 260 should be able to do. In fact, if not anything, a better job at that in general. So let's get nice tap into the lower plate of the Chieftain, and once again, this is a very nice battle for damage, over 3,400 damage, probably actually sitting at around 3,000, I would say 3,500, 3,600, so the i7 has always been a strong tank, and that's one thing that I'm going to love about the 260, so hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am for this tank. Now, the main things I would say is it's going to be quick, it's going to have high alpha, the turret armor is fantastic, it's really a great looking vehicle. If you do want to check it out, honestly, go check out Quickie Baby's video on the tank from a couple years back. Take a look at his Object 260 video. You'll see some of the strengths and weaknesses of it on PC, and hopefully Wargaming balances it out just like that in Blitz so that it's not an overpowered vehicle, because I really would like a balanced, faster heavy to come into the game. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.